If you guys want the fastest way to improve your aim, get some Control Freaks for cheap. Use code Goblin for 10% off and improve your aim today. Link in the description. Yo, what is up guys? It's the Goblin and welcome back to another Call of Duty World War II video. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about, in my opinion, the 5 most important tips in this entire game right now. So this is definitely a very important video and one that you do not want to miss in this video, obviously, or whatever, because this is insane. These are the 5 tips. I made a video like this on Black Ops 3. It got a couple of 100,000 views, and people were very, very thankful for this thing. So that's what I'm going to be talking about today, is the 5 most important tips. I've written them down and stuff like that. So if you guys could drop a like on this video, I'd really appreciate that. 2,000 likes would be amazing. Also, subscribe to the channel if you guys are new and not already subscribed. I'm sure you guys will appreciate this, as well as the gameplay you're watching in the background is a very dominant gameplay where I apply pretty much all of these tips and get, you know, a very, very nice score line with the STG Red Baron, which is a freaking insane variant. I love that variant on the map of the forest. I love the forest, man. Probably the best map in the game. It just works so well for an assault rifle, and this is my favorite map to pull an assault rifle on. So let's get into this 5 tips. We're going to break them down. And of course, some of these tips you guys may say, I already knew that, blah, blah, blah. But I'm sure if you listen to these 5 tips, there's some that you wouldn't have known and that will help you improve at this game. So the first tip that I have for you guys is play your good maps with good class setups in modes you understand. Now, what this means is if you watch a good players usually stick to the same amount of things. So a good player might play hardcore TDM all day, or it might play domination all day, or just CTF all day on certain maps with certain class setups. Because Call of Duty, while it is a simple game on the surface, to really understand the spawns, player rush routes, stuff like that, how the game and maps really work within a game mode, it takes hundreds of games at least on that map and on that specific mode. So if you're switching up and playing, you know, 5 games of TDM, 5 games of domination, 5 capture the flags, 5 search and destroy, well, that might be super fun for you, and, you know, of course, do whatever you want if you want to have fun. To actually improve and to really understand a map, you have to play a specific map on a specific game mode a bunch of times. Similar to how in Black Ops 3, I was very, very good at Nuketown domination because I had played that literally hundreds, if not thousands of times, and that's sort of how this game works as well. Spawns are similar on maps, but spawns work with the map and the game mode. So if you play a same game mode and stick to the same certain amount of maps over and over, you will 100% learn those game modes and that maps and understand that. Mine that I usually stick to is domination. That's my favorite game mode, even though it is 50 points per kill, which really does suck, but the kill streaks aren't that powerful anyway. And I find that, you know, I've learned the spawns a decent amount over the first month of this game, but there is still so much to learn. Other thing is that you don't have to play every single map. Of course, if you're in a pre-game lobby and you see Gustav Cannon, a lot of people might moan but play the game anyway. There's no harm in backing out if you're just in the pre-game lobby. You know, if the game's already started, maybe you want to stay and go for the win. But if you're in the pre-game lobby and you see Gustav Cannon or USS Texas or St. Marie or one of those maps that you don't like, you can feel free to back out. I usually stick to the same 5 or 6 good maps that I enjoy in this game on domination, and I've learned them a decent amount, and of course over this next lifespan of this game I'm going to learn them even stronger, and that's what I recommend doing. Same with the class setups, same with sticking with the same sort of guns. Guns are a little bit different because they are, you know, easier to learn than maps and game modes, and maps how they interact with the game modes. But definitely if you want to be good at the game, if you want to improve your KD and be super good, you want to use the best sort of guns. And I've done guns like top 5 guns after the patch videos, as well as class setups for most of the main guns in this game. Stick to those. If you want to know a class setup for any gun, you can simply type it in onto YouTube, you know, grease gun class setup, PPSH class setup. You'll see my video pop up and you can check that out to get a good class setup for each gun. Next tip here is one that I say in every single Call of Duty game, and I'm going to say it quickly here. I'm not going to spend too much time on it, but aim down sights around every corner where you think the enemies are going to be. This is especially important in this game because people die fairly quickly and it's boots on the ground, so you know exactly where to aim down sights right around that corner at, you know, a chest level, or if it's a head glitch, around that head level. And also because quick draw is not as effective in this game as it was in other games, and you have nothing that really makes you aim down sights faster out of a sprint, except that inspecting your gun glitch thing, which I don't think is too good at all because it covers your whole damn screen. Basically there's a glitch going around where you can inspect your gun and then aim down sights and after sprinting, and it goes a little bit faster. I don't think it's good at all because it covers your screen. Aim down sights around corners where you're going to expect enemies to be. A very, very important tip. Next tip I have here, number 3, is learn how to cycle. Learn a proper playstyle for this game and predict your enemies. You cannot rely on your streaks. So what I mean by writing this down is, first of all, streaks don't work like other Call of Duties. In other Call of Duties, you get your streaks, you're good, baby. Black Ops 2, MW3, MW2, those games were not only easier to get streaks, but the streaks did about 3 times the amount of work as they did in this game. This game, the streaks are sort of a bonus. They're not a core element of the game, which I honestly think is kind of trash. I don't know why they did that, but it does produce some nice gun-on-gun gameplay. So what you have to do is you have to learn proper play styles for this game. This game is not a rusher's game, it's not a camper's game, it's a cycling game, and what that means is it's playing a little bit of both. It's understanding the spawns, and because the spawns in this game are so tight, especially in game modes like Dom, and they don't have the boosters, the advanced movement to boost out, you understand the spawns, you push up to the right side of the spawn, get a couple kills, go back to the middle side of the spawn, get a couple kills. That's basically what I mean besides around cycling the spawns. It's a little more complicated than that, but you know, I don't have a full video to explain it right here. That's basically the best playstyle in this game to use. I 100% recommend doing that. You don't want to camp too far back or you won't get enough kills, and you don't want to rush too far in without cover because, you know, other things are working against rushers in this game, and you will definitely end up dying a lot. But that's one thing I will say. The thing with cycling spawns is you learn to predict the enemies, and what I mean by that is, for example, on a map like the forest here, when they're spawning over at that back area by the bridge, you know, what's going to happen there is people are going to run this. They only have 3 ways to run. Either they run over the bridge, they run over to the A flag, I think it is, or they run to the left towards the B flag. And most people will run towards the left to the B flag, especially if that's just the area that you just killed them from. So by learning that, you can predict enemies' rush routes. Most people work off the rush route, I want revenge. That's literally how people work in this game. So usually if you kill them by B domination, they'll go to B domination. And of course, objectively too, you know, not everyone will play the objective, but a lot of people, if you own B domination, they'll be running there, and you can sort of cut them off between their home flag and the B dom. Find an area you're comfortable in, and you know, predict the enemy's routes and cut them off by having a head glitch, having an advantage point and a position over them, and being able to win that gunfight. Next tip I have here, I've written down that only take gunfights you are confident you will win. Now this is the age-old tip in the game that a lot of people don't really follow, including myself. What this means is only take gunfights you are confident you are going to win. If you think a gunfight is a 50-50 gunfight, don't take it if you don't have to. Of course, sometimes you're going to have to take gunfights for the simple fact that, oh my god, the enemy's looking at me, I'm looking right at him. You don't want to turn around and run away there because he's going to shoot you in the back. And that's happened a few times, you know, when I get on like a nuke streak or a V2 rocket streak, I get a little bit nervous. I try to play sort of like a pussy, and you know, I try to run away, and boom, he just shoots me in the back. So take gunfights if you think you have to take them, but there's ones where you're across the map, you see a guy poking out with a sniper rifle, you have a PPSH, don't take that gunfight, man. It's never going to be worth it. Your chances of winning that are about 20%. I say only take gunfights which you think you have about an 80% chance of winning or higher. If you think it's a 50-50 and you have to take it, go for it, but don't take every single gunfight. You really don't have to, and especially if the enemy gets you weak and they're full health, there's no shame in, you know, ducking down, waiting for your health to regen, or running away from that, because especially if you're on a little bit of a streak or something like that, that is definitely the way to play it. You know, of course, streaks don't matter that much, but they still, you know, it's okay if you're one off your glide bomb and your fighter pilot. That's like 3 or 4 kills right there, so you want to play that a little bit smart. You know, that's what I have to say about that. My 5th tip here that I've written down is that wait for your health to regen. In this game, the health regen is very, very slow. One of the slowest Call of Duties for health regen. Now, the health regen in this game will take 8 seconds if you've been damaged about 90%, and about 5 to 6 seconds if you've just been damaged a little bit. Now, while that seems like a very long time, in this game it's kind of hard to tell when you are fully healed up. When your screen is red, if it's at all still a little bit red, you are still weak. Of course, you're only weak a little bit, but waiting for your health to regen really allows you to win a lot more gunfights because you're going in on a fair playing field to each one. If you're hurt down to 70% health and you run into another gunfight and, you know, he ends up killing you, but you get some bullets into him, if you had waited that extra 1 or 2 seconds, which doesn't seem like too long, you would have 99% won that gunfight. Waiting for your health regen, while it can be annoying, and trust me, it's super annoying to a player like myself who is a you know, a rushing sort of player, a cycling rusher, I guess you could say. I use SMGs most of the time. It is 100% so damn annoying, but it's something that you just sort of have to do because especially if you think you're going to run into multiple enemies, you need to allow yourself to that health to regen. And, you know, in certain situations where you get hit and you see only a little red bar on the side of your screen, you can sort of gauge, and I wish there was some sort of health bar. I mean, some people would think that that's going over the top, but I guess you can sort of gauge by how red your screen is. If your screen is blazing red, you're probably at 10 or 20% health. You do not want to move. You want to sit back in a corner, reload your guns, and wait till your health is regen. If you have one little red slice on the side of your screen, you're probably 80 or 90% health regen, so you might be good with taking a gunfight. But of course, I would still recommend, since it only takes 5 seconds if you're only a little bit hurt, waiting till your health regens a little bit more before taking another gunfight. Now, that's about it for the tips for today, guys. 5 really, really important tips in this game. Hopefully you guys will take these and use them in your games, and I want to see if these will improve your guys' gameplays. I was stuttering over my words right there. Hopefully you guys will enjoy today's video. Drop a like on this thing. I'd really appreciate 2,000 likes. That would be absolutely awesome. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are new and not already subscribed. Smack that like button. Sub for a cookie, and don't looky. And these are 5 tips to help you improve at Call of Duty World War II. I'm out. Peace.